Greetings, friends, and welcome to Mark's Vinyl Collection Update number 5. I've been getting more and more requests from people to update some of my vinyl collection and to show it to you. So I will do so. I just recently did another quick run to the record store and picked up some stuff, so let's jump straight into it. I just picked up this copy of Heathen from David Bowie. As you can see here, it's the We Are Vinyl edition. Still in the shrink. Now, the interesting thing about this, it comes with a insert. But the thing I found very interesting about this pressing of it is when you take out the vinyl, you'll see it looks very familiar, does it not? And I'll explain why it should look familiar to you. When you look at the dead wax, now this is going to be something I'm going to have a hard time showing you on here. I'm not even sure if you're going to even be able to pick any of that up, but if there's some way to see, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but maybe you can see it a little bit there. See that? I'll read it to you. Now if I can see it. Okay, so the dead wax is 91136-2A, and underneath it says MOVLP 470. Now anybody who knows his dead wax reading, MOVLP means Music on Vinyl LP, which is another company that does reissues, these kind of high grade 180 gram reissues. So this copy of Heathen is an actual Music on Vinyl pressing. And since Music on Vinyl here in Canada costs about $35 to $40, this was quite a deal because it cost me under $30. Because it's not, in their eyes, a Music on Vinyl release, but it technically is because the stampers are a Music on Vinyl one. So I lucked out. Next, I don't know how many people out there collect these. Windham Hill Records is a audiophile type of record label that has, this is various artists that are on it. Now this is very new age music, lots of individual piano or acoustic guitar stuff like that. Really great music on this stuff if you like new age stuff, which like I do. But I gotta hand it to this record label. They do some absolutely brilliant stuff on here, and I'll show you the album itself. And yeah, this label has been known for being very critical of its recordings, meaning that they only go to some of the best studios. They do. They also go to some of the best mastering places. Bernie Grunman, for example, did the mastering on this one, and they have been known to go to great lengths to make sure that it sounds absolutely stellar, these recordings. Which will bring me over to another one from the same label, which is Shadowfax, Too Far to Whisper. This is a really great record. This is their fourth album. I don't think it's their fourth, but it's the fourth album that I got from them. Great stuff. Now, I'm not too sure on this release if it has some of that information, but again, it says here that it was mastered by Bernie Grunman at Bernie Grunman Studios. On the earlier records by Shadowfax, they went as far as to tell you that they did the mastering at, for example, they did it where they do the oh god, what am I trying to say now? The mobile fidelity, that's it. The mobile fidelity labs, they mastered a lot of Shadowfax records at before, and they go as far as to tell you that they didn't use any compression, any EQing. So that's got to tell you how great this audio is, because there's no squishing, there's no limiting or anything like that. And again, if you notice here, they seem to all be put on these really cool inner sleeves, and all their center labels are pretty much the same. These Windham Hill Records, great stuff. But keep in mind, it is new age music, so if you don't like new age, you ain't gonna like this. So, but I highly recommend it if you're an audiophile person who likes just records that even sound good. This is for you. Now, I had to get this. Now, if you take a look there, pressed at Palace, 180 gram vinyl, Frank Zappa, Uncle Meat. Now, I have a really amazing version of this record, a German pressing of it. But the main reason why I bought this is to save time. I'm not going to bust out every little thing as a double record, but this is the main reason why I bought it, because in the old versions, I was never able to find this booklet that came with it. And knowing Zappa, he has all these kind of crazy things inside there to read. There's always some kind of story or message behind his albums. Uncle Meat is a really cool album. And again, you know, it's if you like the early Zappa stuff, then you're gonna really like this album. It's very off the rails. I've always thought that Zappa's earlier stuff was a little harder to digest than his later stuff, like Apostrophe and you know, Zoot Allures and stuff like that. I thought those were a lot more easier to handle. And my favorite Zappa record, in fact, is One Size Fits All. So I still like this stuff, granted, but it is a lot harder to get into and to digest for some people. I do understand that. So again, great record, sounds fantastic. Of course, you know, Joe Travers, who's in charge of Frank Zappa's vault, has been doing an absolutely brilliant job of getting these albums back into top condition, because as you know, some of these records like are as old as 69 or even older, 1969, and time can do tricky things to audio tape, to reel tape. So he's done a great job in restoring these albums, finding some old safeties that haven't been touched in 45, 50 years, and using that to make the final versions of it. So a couple more. I'm a huge Gentle Giant fan. Finally got myself The Missing Piece. This is a Canadian pressing, a Canadian first pressing, in fact. A little bit of ring wear there, but what's really cool about this is the vinyl itself. On the side, you have these songs and so on. And on the other side, you have The Missing Piece. Now, I remember being on Discogs just not long ago, checking on this. I know it says here in the Dead Wax, mastered by Capitol Records. It did say who it was who mastered this, and it's really escaping me right now. I apologize. Because it was somebody of note who did master this album. It's not Robert Ludwig or nobody like that. But it is somebody along the lines of maybe a Grunman or a Doug Sax or somebody like that, which I thought was interesting. Okay, and the last one that I picked up is a very interesting record, and for you prog fans, you'll remember this. Gryphon Rain Dance. Now, this is a totally different album cover than the usual version of this. This is the Canadian pressing done by Bomb Records in Toronto. And this is a rather odd pressing of it for another reason. And that is because, as you can see, it's called Rain Dance. But if I pull out the vinyl, now this has a really cool center label to it. Bomb Records. Now you see what it says there for the title? Red Queen to Gryphon 3. That's the record before this one. So we have a misprint here, but it's the right songs listed and it's the right songs on the album. And yes, this one needs a bit of a wash, as you can tell when I put it into the light. But cool center labels. And Gryphon's another one of those progressive bands that should have got a lot more notice than they did. So yeah, that's my latest pickups that I've gotten from the record store. Truth be told, there was an HMV at the mall near my house here, and it had to close down along with all the other HMVs, but in its place we got a Sunrise Records, and they have a lot of good stuff. I was very shocked, and guess where I'm going after this video? You got it, Sunrise. So to conclude, that's what I had right now. My next update is going to be my top 10 Kiss vinyl records and the various, well, the top 10 favorite records and the favorite pressings of those records. So let's say number 10 is going to be whatever, Lick It Up or something, but it might be the Lick It Up from Brazil or something. So I'll be doing my top 10 of those next update. Thank you very much for watching, and for all you people who've been asking to see my vinyl stuff, I will keep you more into the loop. And there will be a Project Gemini update coming up very soon, so watch out for that. Things are happening. So I'll keep you in the loop. Thanks again for watching. This is Mark Anthony K saying bye for now and have a great day.